very much, Herb, and it's a great pleasure to be here. So, as Herb said, I'm based at the Victoria and Albert Museum. As many of you might know, it's the National Museum of Art and Design. And I've been always very excited about museums, mainly because I've been always thinking of museums as a very important part of our public realm, but also spaces that many of which have a social function. They bring many people together, they engage and stimulate visitors to talk about like important contemporary issues and provocative issues. And so in the V&A, one part of the V&A that I'm I've always found super exciting for what I've been doing there, which is actually very much about bringing people together from different backgrounds and getting them to collaborate, in particular in the sectors of like art, design, technology, and science sometimes. So this diversity is something that I always found existed within the collections, but also with the diversity of the audiences. And one part of the V&A that I kind of encounter almost every day when I walk into the building, and you might have seen it as well when you, if you have visited the museum, is this part which was actually the original entrance to the museum when it was founded just after what was the Great Exhibition in 1851. And the reason why this reminds me of these like exciting collaborations and diversity in the museum is I don't know how clearly you can see, but in the background you can see the Crystal Palace, which was the space that hosted the Great Exhibition, and then there's Queen Victoria in the middle handing wreaths with many countries that you can see listed around, which was the first, Great Exhibition was the first international manufacturers exhibition. But then on the other side, like at the very far end, you see these symbols that represent like different sectors, like from art, there is instruments, there is the industry like railway, science, invention, and of course education. So this is still, since back then and still today, this is very much about the message of what the V&A does, bringing all these things together and creating these exciting collaborations. So I thought I would like to share with you some of these some examples of these creative technology collaborations that we've been doing with some really amazing people. And one of these amazing and extraordinary organizations is the Met Office and their climate scientists. And I had the chance to collaborate with the Met Office a few years back, mainly around the NASA Space Apps Challenge, which if you're not aware of that, it's an annual big hack where cities around the world can join in and they can have like an open hackathon using NASA data or Met Office data or data from other organizations and respond to challenges and create really amazing prototypes. So a few years back, we were talking with the Met Office, and we were thinking about climate change and how we can how we can create another hackathon, but to involve loads of people, and also the public, not just people who come from technology or engineering or making backgrounds. So as you will know, the V&A has a big fashion collection as well, and we've been working with many fashion designers over the years, and of course makers as well, and we have a big audience who comes in for the fashion collection. So we came up with this idea of creating having this climate change and fashion hackathon and bring in people together to discuss the effects of climate change, but also to link, the fashion world with environmental impact, etc. And I don't know if you recognize this this couture dress on the image there, but this was made by Helen Story with a few organizations, including the Met Office, and it was displayed at St. Pancras Station at the same time when the Paris summit was held last year in December. And actually, this was one, this was sort of the ongoing, it's an ongoing project, but it was the, it came together from one of the prototypes that were designed during that hackathon that I mentioned at the VNA a few years earlier. And what I have listed there is some of the challenges that and the discussions that we had during that hackathon. And what happened is that it showed us the creative potential of open collaboration and the amazing possibilities that come out of this. And the climate dress, or dress for our time as it's called now, it's basically digitally displayed, data which shows the effects of climate change in the future if we don't take action now. Another another example of these type of cross-disciplinary collaborations that we've been having at the VNA, it was something that we presented more recently, last year in September, as part of an annual festival, a Digital Design Weekend. And it's this project which actually came out from a research which happens across the country from different universities and scientists, and it's called Cleaning Land for Wealth. And it's funded by the EPSRC, which is the Engineering Physical Sciences Research Council. And what happened is that a group of scientists have been exploring ways in which contaminated land can be brought back to life, and so how they can use bioengineering and bacteria to recover from the land precious metals and also toxic metals as well. So, so these guys, the designers that we've been working with, called Bartonita, they created these instruments and this performance piece at the VNA, which was kind of exploring the process and discussing with the audience the process and help them understand how the scientists were working. And this was actually an amazing way of bringing for the first time the scientists from across the country into the VNA, for them an unusual place to be, and that somewhere where they couldn't expect their research to be shown. And have a massive event where loads of people took part in what they were and spoke to them about what they were talking about, they were researching. This is another example of a slightly different kind of ongoing project that I have been involved with at the VNA, and again it's an opportunity of bringing together economists this time with designers and technologies. And I'm sorry if you might have, I'm sorry I mentioned that yesterday as well in my talk, so some of you who have been there, they might have seen it already. But this was a fun way for us to talk about donations in the museum. So we designed a series of interactive wearable devices with Heidi, some of which you can see up there. So basically this included from these wearable gloves, but like a badge and also a platform which was about tap dancing. And what happened is that every time it was about gestures and donations. So every time people would use these devices to high five or handshake or tap dance, then they would make a donation to the museum. And this was a way for us, an interactive and fun way to start conversation about the value of museums, but also to talk about alternative economic ideas and currencies in a digital society. And of course, engage other economists with our collections and the work in the museum. This was actually the donation boxes that we used, and you might have seen these in, like, these are just just plain donation boxes that many arts organizations use. And what we've done is that we combined this with the interactives and created a series of interventions to understand if people would give more money compared with data from the previous year if we did this experiment. And actually, for certain weeks, it did show us, the data did show that people actually donated more to the VNA, engaging with these devices and with the boxes. And these were all designed as a response to psychological research about giving. For example, we used from the banknotes, with permission, of course, from the Bank of England, the Queen's eyes, and it's based on research that if somebody talks to you about donations then, or looks at you, then you are more likely to donate money. And of course, it had also to do with flowers in a similar research, and color red, which again is from the banknote detail. Something else I wanted to talk about is an even longer project. The Money in Object actually took us, it was a 6-month-long project, but it's actually ongoing. We are still continuing to work on it and explore a way where we could possibly install like a donation, an alternative donation system at the VNA based on these interactives. And this was another long-term project which we've been working on for about a year now with support from the Arts and Humanities Research Council. And this is an international research kind of team and project involving UK, China, and Nigeria. And it was very much about bringing together a group of scientists, environmentalists, artists, designers, curators, and academics to do recycling, e-waste recycling at factories and sites in Lagos in Nigeria, but Hong Kong, and also in Kent, and also to use it as a starting point to have conversations about electronic waste, recycling, and also the future of e-waste. And we brought this research out to the public in the VNA with a series of events, like from showcases, but also invited government officials to come and talk about these very important issues, and of course the public. And this was the second part of the project, which is something that we've been working on now, following on from the first stage, which is actually going a step forward from obsolescence. It's very much it's talking about repair strategies and how all these how we can talk about recycling and repair rather than just throwing away electronics. And this was a session that we've done a few weeks ago, connecting with repair industry in the UK, but also in Kenya, in Nairobi, and we had live discussions and live repair sessions at both sides. And I don't know if you are aware of if you know the Restart project. It's a great organization who have been staging these Restart parties where people can bring their broken electronics and learn skills and how they open their devices and very much understand a bit what's happening and how they can repair them. And we've done a Restart party at the VNA with a discussion in Nairobi, and showing at the same time, having people like from Fairphone, but also Lovephone, etc., and similar organizations. And I'm going to slowly close here with I think I might have mentioned at the beginning the word innovation and what happens when you bring all these people together, which and of course, you all know that innovation comes from the Latin word innovatus, which also means introduce as new, which I kind of think it's actually seeing something in a new way. And this is very much like what has been happening at the VNA. And we have been very interested in kind of, bringing people together from different backgrounds to enable these ideas to happen, to see things in a new way, but also to create new stuff and think differently about very important issues. And thank you very much.